Hello everyone. Now let us start with our chapter number 3 of complex analysis. Since in previous we see the first chapter, actually it is a basic chapter, that is we see the all basic things and we revise the concept related to holomorphic function, convergence, sequence, open disk and the interior points, Cauchy-Riemann equation, constant function, under what condition. It is first chapter. Second chapter it is not in the syllabus. Now we discuss with the third chapter, that is elementary properties and examples of analytic function. As we already know the analytic function, that is a friendly function, exponential function, sine function, cos function, that is the corresponding combination of complex valued functions are analytic function. Since they are convergence or holomorphic everywhere, these functions are differentiable everywhere, therefore these functions are analytic function, and also that function satisfy the Cauchy-Riemann equation, therefore this forms a analytic function. Now here in this chapter we see the detailed representation of that analytic function and corresponding result. Now the first concept is a power series. So in this section we define the basic property of power series, and for which function how we define a power series, what is its radius of convergence, and what are the elementary properties of that functions. So before going towards that, we see some elementary facts of the infinite series of complex number whose statements for the infinite series in R should be already known. So we will see the first concept, that is a summation, that is sequence of real number, series of real number, when it is convergent, when it is absolutely convergent. As we already know, in terms of real, the equivalent concept are also hold in the set of complex. That is, if an is in set of complex number C, then for every n is greater than or equal to 0, the series summation of an converges to Z if and only if for every epsilon greater than 0 there is an integer capital N, such that as an each point, that is that sum close to Z as m is greater than or equal to n, then the series summation of an converges absolutely if summation of mod of an converges. Then we know that the proposition, that is if the series is convergent absolutely, then it is also convergent, since absolute convergence implies convergence plus mod of an summation of mod of an convergence. Therefore we have the equivalence, that is absolutely convergent implies convergent, but convergent does not implies absolutely convergent. So here we see the proof, that is summation of an, it is a series in complex number which converges absolutely, then we have to prove that it is convergent. It is very simple proof. So using that definition, consider a epsilon greater than 0 and taking a point z0, which is the sum of a0 plus a1 up to an, which is finite. So summation of mod of an converges, then there is an integer capital N such that summation of mod of an, it is less than epsilon, for summation runs from n capital N to infinity, and this is hold if that convergence criteria is hold. Therefore if m is strictly greater than k greater than or equal to n, the distance between zm and zk, it is nothing but the summation of an. So mod of zm minus zk is equals to, what is mod of zm minus zk? Zm a0 plus a1 plus a2 plus a3, and as m is greater than k, that is ak plus ak plus 1 plus am minus what is zk? a0 plus a1 up to zk. So it only remains the last term, am plus 1, am plus 2 up to an, that is finite. Therefore it becomes the summation of mod of an, n runs from k plus 1 to m, and it is less than or equal to, by the property of that summation mod of an, which is less than or equal to m runs from capital N to infinity, since k is strictly greater than n. So k plus 1 is also strictly greater than capital N. So this sum is less than mod of an. Therefore It is the definition of that sequence of points, that is A0, Z0, Z1, Z2, Z3 and so on. This is a Cauchy sequence. So there is a point Z in C such that limit of Zn, it is nothing but that point Z. Hence summation of An, it is Z, which proves that if summation An is absolutely convergence, then summation of An also convergent. Now we recall some basic definitions, that is limit inferior and limit superior of the sequence. Now that definition are already known. We recall some definition. If sequence An, it is sequence in R, then define limit inferior of An, it is limit of n tends to infinity, infimum of An plus 1, An plus 2 and so on. Same thing for supremum. Also limit infimum of An and limit supremum of An noted by limit lower position la bar An and supremum साठी upper position la bar. Okay. So if limit infimum always exists, although it may be plus infinity or minus infinity. Similarly, limit supremum is also exists, since it sometimes it is plus infinity, sometimes it is minus infinity. So a number of properties of limit inferior and limit superior are included in next point. So we are going towards the power series. A power series about A is an infinite series of the form, आपल्याला आतापर्यंत अशी series माहिती होती, summation of A n z raised to n. Now consider that power series in the format of summation of n runs from 0 to infinity A n z minus A raised to n. That type of power series are already done in ordinary differential equation. That is a chapter in power series, that is summation of A n x raised to n. When x equals to 0, it is singular point. Otherwise summation of A n x minus x naught raised to n, where x naught is regular singular point different from 0 and so on. Like that way we define a power series about point A, small a. It is defined in this way, that is summation of A n z minus A raised to n. N runs from 0 to infinity. And the example of power series, it is a geometric series, that is summation of z raised to n. It is an example of power series. Now we have to check that for which value of z this geometric series is convergent, for which value it is divergent or so on. Now we already know the formula for 1 minus z raised to n plus 1. So we have the expansion 1 plus z square up to z raised to n, that is summation of z raised to n can be written as 1 minus z raised to n plus 1 upon 1 minus z. Now if z is equals to 1, then this becomes an infinite. So we choose a point mod z strictly less than 1. Then if mod z is strictly less than 1, then the limit z raised to n is equals to 0 and the geometric series is convergent, and this is convergence to the fact that after expanding this one, it has 1 minus z raised to n plus 1, we get summation of z raised to n, it is 1 upon 1 minus z. So for a mod z strictly less than 1, this geometric series is convergent. For mod z greater than 1, this geometric series is divergent. Now we have to define in terms of power series what will be done in power series and how we check that the convergence of power series. So for that purpose we have the theorem 1.3. For a given power series summation of A n z minus A raised to n, we define a number capital R as 0 less equal R less than or equal to infinity, and that R is defined as 1 upon R, it is limit superior of mod of A n raised to 1 upon A. If mod of z minus A is strictly less than R, series is absolutely convergent. If mod of z minus A greater than R, then the term of the series becomes unbounded and the series is divergent. And if small r lies between 0 to capital R, then series converges uniformly on the set of collection of all complex number z such that mod z less than or equal to R. Also that number R is called as radius of convergence, and this is only number R having these two properties A and B. So we define a number R and its corresponding property. That number R is called as radius of convergence of power series. Also by using another formula we can find the radius of convergence for the power series. If we have the power series, summation of a n z minus a raised to n is a power series with radius of convergence R, then R can be defined as limit of n tends to infinity mod of a n upon a n plus 1 if limit is exist. As this formula is already used for summation of a n z raised to n, and the formula for calculating radius of convergence for a n z raised to n and a n z minus a raised to n are same. Now observe that the summation, that is e raised to z exponential function, can be written as summation of z raised to n upon n factorial, n range from 0 to infinity. That is, it can be read down in terms of a n z raised to n. And by the proposition 1.4 we have that this series, it is convergence everywhere. So this series, by calculating by the formula, that is a formula, it is R is equals to limit n tends to infinity a n upon a n plus 1. What is a n? 1 upon n factorial, that is 1 upon n factorial divided by 1 upon n plus 1 factorial. N plus 1 factorial can be written as n plus 1 into n factorial. N factorial get cancelled, limit of n tends to infinity, n plus 1. Answer becomes infinity. So radius of convergence for the exponential function, it is infinity, and hence it is converges at every complex number, and this convergence is uniform on each compact subset of complex number C. So we have the power series expansion, that is exponential series for the function e raised to z, which is summation of z raised to n upon n factorial. This is an infinite series. Also we have the one of the proposition, that is summation of a n, summation of b n be the two absolutely convergent series, and put Cn, it is summation of ak bn minus k runs from 0 to n, then summation of Cn is absolutely convergent with product of these two series. That is this summation of Cn, it is absolutely convergent with some summation of an into summation of bn. So in this chapter we see the first power series, how we define the convergence of power series by calculating radius of convergence, and if we have that radius of convergence, a capital R, if mod z is strictly less than R, then this is the area of convergence of that series, greater than R, area of divergence, and so on. So today here we stop. We continue our lecture tomorrow for another properties of power series and the corresponding related theorems of analytic function.